Guys, in this video we are going to see about linear search algorithm and how it works on C++ language. Now let's see that through an example. For example, let's say we are going to create an int array and ask the user to input a particular value, then search our array using linear search to see if that value exists or not. Now let's go ahead and create our int array. Okay, so we are going to create int array int a, and we put a square bracket and let's put set of values. For example, let's put 6 values. Okay, let's say 15, 67, 55, and some random numbers like 89, 77, and one more, let's say 53. Okay, now we have created our int array. Now before we go ahead with the main function, we can create another function to identify whether the value input by user is exist or not. So for example, if the value does not exist, we can create a negative value, and that will helpful later because we can create an if statement using that. We can say if the result is greater than 0, we have to output this one and something like that. You will see this through, like you will see that later. Now let's go ahead and create that function. So we are going to create a new function called integer linear search. And here we are going to put int array square bracket and then int size and then int search value. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a for loop for that. For loop is basically to see each individual values to to visit each individual array. Okay, we are going to start a curly bracket for loop and integer I is equal to 0 and then I is less than size and then I plus plus. Okay, now we are going to see if we search the array and found it, return to I, and if we don't find the value, we are going to set it to -1. Okay, let's create the curly bracket and put the if statement. If search value exists. Okay, so we can say if search value is equal to array and whatever the value in array I, we are going to put square bracket I. If that exists, we are going to return to I. Return to I. Okay, and if the value does not exist, we are going to set it to -1. -1. Okay, from that we know that if the value is greater than 0, that's probably the value exists in the array. If it's not, it does not exist. Now in order to do that, now first of all we have to ask the user to enter some values. In order to do that, we can say integer user value. User value is going to be the input from the user. And now let's create a cout statement to ask the user to enter a number. Let's say cout enter an integer. And close it, and then let's end this line. End line. and after that the user is going to input something, right? So that's going to be C in user value and semicolon. After that, integer result is equal to linear search. So this is to capture the previous return value, like whatever the return we got right here. To capture this one, we are creating this right here, integer result linear search, and a comma 6 user value and then let's close this one. Okay, now we know that from previous one, we know that if the value is positive, it definitely exists in the array, and if we get a negative value, it does not exist, because -1 is only for if does not exist, right? Now, from this one we can create an if statement. If result is greater than or equal to 0, we are going to see out this one. We are going to it's going to print like see out the number and a result okay was found at the element with index a, and then result, and let's end this line. Okay, after this, this is if the value is greater than or equal to 0. If not, it does not exist, right? So if not, we are going to create an else statement for that. Else we are going to print cout. Okay, here should be an open curly bracket, and cout statement is going to be cout the number user value was not found. Okay, now let's close this one, and also now we can end this line, and that's it. Now this one should work. Let's try this one. Let's run this one and see what we get. Okay, there's an error. Let's see what's the error we have. Integer, oh, this one should be h right here. Okay, let's run this one. Okay, enter an integer. Now let's enter an integer that exists. For example, let's say 55 and enter, and it says the number 55 was found at the element with index 2. It makes sense because index start from 0. This is 0, 1, 2, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how it goes. So 0, 1, 2, that's correct, but we can set this one little better way, like the number 55 was found. Number 55, I can leave a space right here. 55 was found at the, I have to put a E right here. It's gonna make everything the element. Okay, let's try again and see if we get it better way. See out. Okay, 55. The number 55 was found at the element with index. Okay, that as long as you understand, it's fine. And also here, it's better to leave a space right here. Okay, now let's try a number that does not exist. For example, let's say 50. 50 is not there, right? So 50 and enter. The number 50 was not found. See that how it works. And that's about linear search algorithm and how it works. I hope this helps. See you next time.